After publishing 4 audiobooks on Audible, I've spent dozens of hours recording, editing, re-recording, and wondering if my pause was too long or too short. And while I'm definitely still learning, there are 5 big lessons that audiobook editing has taught me. Lessons that I wish I knew before I started. Some of them surprise me, some of them sound obvious, but there is one that completely changed my style of narration and how I approach it. So, let's jump in. Also, before we get into it, I'm a little bit sick, so if I sound a little bit weird, I'm not normally sick, it's just right now. But I'm gonna act like I'm not. Point number 1. Sometimes you need longer pauses than you think you do. When you're editing, you've already heard the same sentence like 10 times, maybe more. To you, the silence that you're hearing feels absolutely massive. But to the listener who's hearing it for the first time, that extra second can make a huge difference and make the line hit extremely hard. Pauses give people time to process the information. They build tension, they emphasize the emotion, and they give people time to breathe and process what's going on. There have been many times that I've been editing a chapter and I'm like, that pause is too long. And then I'll come back to it the next day and I'll be like, actually, that pause was perfect. I've just listened to it too many times, and then I'd have to fix it. So if you're editing your own audiobook, don't be afraid of silence. Sometimes the space between the words is just as important as the words themselves. Number 2, trust the performance that you got hired for. If you got the role, the author or the publisher heard your audition and was like, that is the voice that I want. But after listening to the same chapter over and over again, it gets really easy to second guess yourself and your performance and how you're approaching it. Should this line be happier? Should it be a little bit more serious? Maybe even more dramatic? At some point, you're gonna drive yourself crazy, wondering about all the possibilities of how you could do it. At the end of the day, trust the performance that got you hired. Obviously, take feedback and make adjustments when needed, but don't edit out the personality of the read because you spent the last 6 hours listening to it. You earned the role. Trust yourself in the role. Number 3, take care of your voice. Tea and honey have become absolute lifesavers for me, especially during long recording sessions. So much to the point to where I'm actually drinking it outside of recording as well, just to help keep my voice nice and smooth. When you're narrating for hours on end, your voice gets tired. Your voice gets dry and you can start making mistakes that you wouldn't normally do. Something as simple as having a drink nearby, like I like the tea and honey, taking breaks, and stepping away for like 10-15 minutes can make a huge difference. Not only that, but stepping away also gives your brain some time to rest and recover and come back fresh, ready to keep going at the recording session. And also, don't power through vocal fatigue. I've had personal experience with that where I'm like, I'm just gonna get through this chapter. And then I end up having to re-record what I just did because my voice just sounds a little bit hoarse and it doesn't sound as natural and doesn't match the rest of what I just recorded. I learned that taking a 15-minute break can save you that re-recording session. And in the end, that's so much time that you'll end up saving. Audiobooks are a marathon, not a sprint. Actually, while we're on the topic, I would love to know if you've narrated an audiobook, or you're hoping to in the future, which one of these so far has surprised you the most? And if you have something from your own experience that I haven't mentioned, please leave that down in the comments below. I'm still new to this and I would love to also learn what you're going through so we can grow and build together. Also, if you're enjoying the video, I'm following my entire voice acting journey, so feel free to subscribe. I've been documenting everything from auditions to demos to things I've learned along the way, and I still got a long way to go. Anyways, let's get back to it. Number 4, take time to become the character. Lesson number 4 is to give yourself time to become the character that you're reading as. And yes, even narrating self-help books has a character. It's the author. When I first started, I would sit down, hit record, and immediately jump into the read because I wanted to get as much work done as possible. But I've realized that taking an extra 5 to 10 minutes, it'll probably become less as you get more adept into playing different characters in different roles, but I'm still pretty new, so it takes me about 5 to 10 minutes. To really get into the character who's speaking has really helped me completely change how I'm doing the reads. If it's fiction, who is the character? If it's a memoir, what kind of emotions are you really trying to portray? And if it's self-help, how would the author use their own experiences to really put that emotion in and get their point across the most efficient way. The audience can hear when you're not emotionally invested in the material, and they can definitely hear when you're just trying to get through another chapter. So taking that extra few minutes before starting to record to get into character will save you hours when it comes to editing and re-recording. And finally, point number 5. I know it's super cheesy and like classic cheese, but I genuinely believe it's true. You have to have fun. Audiobooks are long projects. You're spending hours with these stories and characters, and if you're approaching every session like, let's power through this and get this done, it's gonna catch up to you and it's gonna be absolutely exhausting and you will burn out. I've actually had to re-record full sessions, like hours of recording, because I was in work mode instead of storytelling mode. And the listeners can hear the difference. When you're having fun, the characters feel more alive and the story in general feels more alive and more fluid and more engaging. The emotions feel real and the performance feels natural. So when you're looking for projects, try to take ones that excite you. I know that may not always be financially possible, so if it's not, try to find things in the project that you can really invest in and get in the mindset and act like you're invested. Experiment with your reads. I've also found that to be a little bit more engaging for me personally, which also benefits the read itself. And let yourself enjoy the process of doing it all. Because if you're not having fun making the audiobook, the listener is going to hear that. And that's not only a disservice to the listener, it's also a disservice to the author that hired you to do it, because their story isn't getting the full potential and the attention that it deserves. Also, for anybody interested, I have links down in the description for all of the equipment I used to record these audiobooks. All of the equipment, like my microphone, my headset, all of the accessories that I have, like my recording booth. It's just a little thingy. Those are all affiliate links, so if you decide to pick something up, it really helps support the channel at absolutely no additional cost to you. But regardless, I appreciate you checking them out. Now, those are the 5 biggest lessons that publishing for audiobooks has taught me so far. I'm still very new in this journey, and I'm sure that after like 6 months, I'm gonna have even more, or brand new, 5 extra tips that I've learned while publishing audiobooks. If you've ever narrated a book before, or anything in general, let me know in the comments what you have learned so I can also learn it. And if you're interested in voice acting or narration, consider subscribing. I've been documenting my entire journey as I've been going and learning voice acting, and I plan to continue to do more, especially as I start to move into commercials and other types of genres of voice acting as well. And I would love for you to join on the ride. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.